Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing Total Drama Island on simulator. So I have a Total Drama Island simulator here. And yeah, it just simulates it all. If you want to find it, it is on Brant Steely. I think that's what it's called. You just have to come here, and there is Total Drama Island Simulator. You can just search up like Total Drama Island Simulator, and it will be like Brant. It will be that name. Okay, so let's proceed. So we're going to look at the relationship highlights. Lashawna feels a slight bond toward Justin. Owen and Izzy feel a mutual slight bond. Trent feels a slight bond. Heather and Cody. Izzy and Heather. Justin and Cody. Justin feels a slight bond toward Lashawna. Trent and Izzy. Lashawna feels a slight dislike toward Gwen. Definitely not canon. There's no way Lashawna would ever really hate her. Alright, so you want to do, they have to jump. This challenge is done in 3 parts. In part 1, campers must jump off a 1,000-foot high cliff into the water, which is infested with psychotic man-eating sharks. In the dangerous water is a small safe zone for the campers to jump into. Campers who do not jump must wear a chicken hat for the remainder of the day. The team with more jumpers receives 4 wagons to help them with the next part of the challenge. In part 2, teams must take 4 crates back to camp and open them with their teeth. In part 3, teams must take the supplies from their crates and build a hot tub. The team with the better hot tub, as decided by Chris McLean, the host, wins invincibility and gets to keep their hot tub. So let's see. Trent. One camper on Screaming Gophers doesn't jump and must wear a chicken hat. Okay, so Trent doesn't jump and Bridget doesn't jump. So since there's a tie, neither team gets the wagons. Chris deems the killer base hot tub better. Okay. So they win. So let's look at events. Gwen and Lindsay find something in common. We have the Screaming Gophers Alliance. So the first alliance is Cody, Heather, Izzy, and Justin, with all of them having a loyalty of 5 except for Heather. Let's look at targets. Owen is targeting Cody, Lindsay is targeting Trent, Izzy is targeting Noah, Heather is targeting Beth, Trent is targeting Gwen. Gwen is targeting Heather. Okay. So the first this is the campfire ceremony. You have 10 marshmallows. If I call your name, you are safe and you can get your marshmallow. If you do not receive a marshmallow, you must immediately return to the dock of shame to catch the boat of losers and leave. That means you're out of the contest and you can't come back ever. First, the marshmallow goes to Lindsay. Second marshmallow goes to Lashawna. The third marshmallow goes to Izzy. The fourth marshmallow goes to Justin. The fifth marshmallow goes to Owen. The fifth goes to Gwen. The sixth goes to Owen. The seventh goes to Heather. Noah, Beth, Trent. Oh, Cody gets eliminated first. Oh, bye, Cody. Should we not alliances? Oh yeah, since Cody was eliminated, the alliance is gone. Well, okay. Let's look at alliances. Oh, that is a big alliance. Bridget, Courtney, Duncan, Jeff, Harold, and Tyler. That is a big alliance. Probably one of the biggest alliances ever. The Awake-a-thon. This challenge is done in 3 parts. In part 1, campers must run 20 kilometers around a lake. In part 2, all campers who finished the run by dinner time will be treated to a feast. In the surprise turn of events, it is revealed that for the 3rd part of the challenge, the last team to have at least 1 camper awake will win invincibility. If both teams have campers awake after 24 hours, they will be read fairy tales while a man dressed as a pink sheep plays the harp. If both teams still have campers awake after 85 hours, the eliminated campers are sent away while the remaining campers are read the history of Canada, a pop-up book. Alright, so 9 campers complete part 1 and are treated to the part 2 feast. Those ones are Courtney, DJ, Eva, Ezekiel, Gwen, Justin, Lindsay, Owen, and Sadie. Part 3 begins. Justin from Screaming Gophers falls asleep. They are down to 9 remaining. Heather from Screaming Gophers falls asleep. They are down to 8 remaining. Katie from Killer Base falls asleep. They are down to 10 remaining. Ezekiel from Killer Base falls asleep. They are down to 9 remaining. Izzy from Screaming Gophers falls asleep. They are down to 7 remaining. Eva from Killer Base falls asleep. They are down to 8. Trent falls asleep. That's 6 Screaming Gophers. DJ falls asleep. 7. Tyler, Beth, Wait, Tyler, Gwen, Beth, Owen, Lindsay, Noah. Oh, Harold, Bridget, Jeff, Courtney, Duncan, and Sadie were all able to stay awake, so they win. I think that's like most of the alliance. Well, Killer Base win again. Let's see targets. Shauna is targeting Trent. Noah is targeting Gwen. Gwen is targeting LaShawna. Lindsay is targeting Beth. Trent is targeting Heather. Alright, so let's see. The first one goes to Lindsay, Heather, Owen, Izzy, Noah, and LaShawna. Beth, Gwen, Justin, and Trent have not yet received a marshmallow. Seventh goes to Beth, Gwen, Trent, Justin, Gwen. Oh, and that's bye-bye to Trent. Well, that's it's 9 to 11. That's all right. Dodgeball. In a classic schoolyard game, teams must compete in a game of dodgeball. If a camper is hit, they are out. But if they catch the ball, the thrower is out, and the catcher gets to bring a team member onto the court. Campers can hold one ball to deflect another, but if their ball is knocked out of their hands, they're out. Each round, 5 campers from each team will compete, but anyone can be called onto the court when a ball is called. In each round, the last team to have at least 1 camper left will win the round. The first team to win 3 rounds wins invincibility. Alright, game 1. Beth, Izzy, Justin, LaShawna, and Noah. 5 campers are selected from Screaming Gophers, and then the 5 campers selected from Color Base are Ezekiel, Jeff, Katie, Sadie, Tyler. So, yeah, they win. So, Beth, LaShawna, and Noah stay on the court, and then with Gwen and Owen coming in the game in their place. And then, who stays? Katie stays on the court, and so does Tyler. But the new ones are Bridget, DJ, and Eva, and they're able to win. So it's 1 to 1. Now it's Beth, Gwen, Heather, Izzy, and LaShawna. Dang, Beth and LaShawna have been on every game. And then it's Eva, Jeff, Katie, Sadie, Tyler. Killer Base win again. Okay, it's Beth, Gwen, Heather, LaShawna, and Noah versus Courtney, Duncan, Ezekiel, Jeff, Katie. Okay, it's 2 to 2. It's time for the final game. It's Gwen, Heather, Izzy, Lindsay, and Owen versus Bridget, Ezekiel, Jeff, Harold, and Tyler. Okay, the Screaming Gophers are able to win. Who are the people targeting? Katie is targeting Tyler. Duncan is targeting Eva. Jeff is starting. So Jeff is gonna Harold, Eva, Ezekiel, DJ. Okay, what's happening? There we go. Jeff, Ezekiel, Duncan, and Katie, Tyler, Bridget, Eva, Courtney, DJ, Harold, and Sadie have not yet received a marshmallow. Courtney, Sadie, Harold, DJ's out. Alright, here we go. So these are the last campers remaining. Beth, Gwen, Heather, Izzy, Justin, LaShawna, Lindsay, Noah, and Owen. These are the last Screaming Gophers. And the last Color Base are Bridget, Courtney, Duncan, Eva, Ezekiel, Jeff, Harold, Katie, Sadie, Tyler. Boom. We're not going to look at those. Talent show. Teams are given 8 hours to select 3 campers with the best acts on their team to represent them in an upcoming talent contest. The team with the best overall rating is, as decided by Chef Hatchet, wins invincibility. The Screaming Gophers select Gwen, Noah, and Owen. Killer Bees select Duncan, Jeff, and Harold. Chef Hatchet gives the win to Duncan, Jeff, and Harold. Killer Base win. Oh, I didn't do targets. Wait, who are people targeting? Oh my god. Shauna is targeting Lindsay, Justin is targeting Owen, Lindsay is targeting Izzy, Owen is targeting Justin. Noah, Izzy, Heather, Gwen, and LaShawna, Beth, Owen, Justin. Okay, Lindsay's out. Final 8 for them, final 10 for them. Teams must spend the night in a forest. All their essentials needs are at separate camps, which they must find using a map and compass. In the morning, the first team back for breakfast wins invincibility and junk food. Screaming Gophers make it back to camp first. Okay, Screaming Gophers win again. Duncan is targeting Sadie. Tyler is targeting Katie. Eva is targeting Bridget. Sadie is targeting Ezekiel. Courtney is targeting Eva. Sadie, Tyler, Jeff, Katie, Duncan, Ezekiel. Harold, Courtney, Bridget. Oh, that's bye-bye to Eva. Phobia factor. Campers must face their worst fears. Each camper who can successfully overcome their fear earns a point for their team. The team with the most points wins invincibility. Since Killer Base have 9 members to 8, one camper on Screaming Gophers will compete twice. The challenge begins. Beth overcomes their fear and scores a point for Screaming Gophers. Screaming Gophers lead 1-0. Jeff overcomes his fear and scores a point for Killer Base. It is a 1-1 tie. Izzy overcomes her fear and scores a point for Screaming Gophers. Screaming Gophers lead 2-1. Courtney fails to overcome her fear. Screaming Gophers lead. Gwen fails to overcome her fear. Screaming Gophers lead. Sadie overcomes her fear. It is a 2-2 tie. Lashawna overcomes her fear. 3-2. Katie, 3-3. Lashawna goes again, and it's 4-3. Doesn't make it 4-3. 5-3. 5-4. 6-4. 6-5. 7-5. 7-6. 8-6. 8-7. Alright, the Screaming Gophers win with points of 8-7. Targets, Katie, Sadie, Tyler. Okay. Jeff, Duncan, Ezekiel, Harold, Courtney, Bridget, Tyler, Sadie. Ooh, that's Katie eliminated. Alright, so now each team has 8. So final 16. Okay, canoe trip. Teams must paddle out to Boney Island using designated canoes. Once there, teams must portage their canoes across the center of the island to the other side. Once on the other side, teams must rebuild a canoe fire, which will be judged. Then teams will canoe back home. The first team to bring their canoes back to the start will win invincibility. Screaming Gophers reach Boney Island. Screaming Gophers reach the other side of Boney Island. Killer Base reached Boney Island. Screaming Gophers successfully build a rescue fire. Screaming Gophers make it back to the starting line. Screaming Gophers win. Tyler, Harold, and Sadie are all targets. Jeff, Courtney, Ezekiel, Bridget, Duncan, Harold, and Tyler. Ooh, Sadie gets eliminated right after Katie. And for probably the first time in this simulator, I think the Screaming Gophers have more members than the Killer Base. But it might not be that long. It might be only one challenge. Paintball deer hunt. Campers from each team are divided into 2 roles, hunters and deer. Hunters must shoot deer from the opposite team, while deer must evade opposing hunters. If a deer is shot by any hunter, they are eliminated. The last team with deer still alive wins invincibility. The Screaming Gophers have 4 hunters, which are Gwen, Izzy, Justin, and Lashawna. And they have 4 deer, which are Beth, Heather, Noah, and Owen. They have 3 hunters, which are Bridget, Ezekiel, and Harold. And their 4 deer are Courtney, Duncan, Jeff, and Tyler. Gwen shoots Tyler. Ezekiel shoots Noah. Bridget shoots Heather. Ezekiel shoots Owen. Ezekiel shoots Beth. And the Killer Base win, with the last deer remaining being Duncan, Courtney, and Jeff. This is a camp. Yeah, I already read that. Izzy, Heather, Owen, Gwen, Beth, Lashawna, and Justin. Oh, they voted out Noah. Alright. 7-7. Hell's Kitchen. Oh, oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I just read what it said. Teams must create a 3-course meal to be judged by Chris McLean. Each team must also appoint a head chef who will create the theme of the meal and oversee their progress. The team with the best meal wins invincibility and a 5-star dinner under the stars. Ooh, seems nice. Screaming Gophers appoint Lashawna as head chef. Killer Base appoint Harold as head chef. Screaming Gophers win. Yeah, Harold, that's what you get. You can't be Lashawna. Targets. Harold is targeting Ezekiel. Duncan is targeting Harold. Oh. Tyler, Jeff, Duncan, Bridget, Courtney, and Ezekiel. Oh, that's Harold voted out. Extreme trust building. Oh, this is going to be long. Everyone prepare yourself. There are 3 main challenges centered around trust. Each challenge must be completed by 2 members from each team. Instead of campers choosing their partners, they are divided by Chris McLean. For the first challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in an extreme freehand rock climbing challenge, where they must decide who will climb the mountain and who will harness the climber and hold their slack. On the base and the side of the mountain are rusty nails, slippery oil slicks, mild explosives, and a water gun filled with habanero pepper sauce. The first camper to reach the top wins the challenge for their team. For the second challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in an extreme cooking challenge, where they must decide who will cook and who will eat. The cooks must prepare fugu sashimi, a dish which can be lethally poisonous if it is not prepared properly, while the other two must taste their partner's dish. The camper that is poisoned the least wins the challenge for their team. The final challenge is broken down into 3 blind challenges. In the first blind challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in the blind William Tell, where they must decide who will stand and who will toss. The campers who stand will have an arrow placed on top of their head as their partner tries to knock the arrow off with an apple while blindfolded. The first camper to knock the arrow off their partner's head wins the challenge for their team. In the second blind challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in the blind trapeze, where they must decide who will jump and who will swing. The jumpers must wait on a platform until their partner tells them to jump, at which point the swingers must catch their partner. The catcher who successfully catches their partner the fastest wins the challenge for their team. The final blind challenge, 2 campers must from each team compete in the blind toboggan race, where they must decide who will drive and who will navigate. The driver is blindfolded as they steer to the toboggan, while the navigator shouts directions, starting on top of a mountain riddled with mild explosives. The first pair to reach the base of the mountain wins the challenge for their team. The team that wins the most blind challenges wins the third challenge. The team that wins the most challenges wins invincibility. Whew. Okay. So, first challenge. Izzy and Justin compete for Screaming Gophers. Bridget and Ezekiel compete for Killer Base. Izzy and Justin score a point for Screaming Gophers. Second challenge. Beth and Owen compete for Screaming Gophers. Bridget and Tyler compete for Killer Base. Beth and Owen win. Okay, Beth and Owen win. So, that's Screaming Gophers' invincibility. Oh, wait, no. Bridget, Ezekiel's talking to... Okay, so Bridget, Courtney, and Ezekiel are the... Okay, it's Courtney, Tyler, Duncan, Jeff... Oh, it's between... Okay, it's Bridget is safe, and Ezekiel's eliminated. It is 5-7. So that's 12. Master Chef's Boot Camp. Chiefs, I don't know. Teams are forced into a boot camp ran by Chef Hatchet, who was asked to be addressed as Master Chief for the occasion. Campers must follow every rule and command given by Master Chief, whose goal is to make sure everyone drops out of his boot camp. If a camper wants to drop out of the boot camp, they must walk the dock of shame and ring the bell. The camper who remains in Master Chief's boot camp the longest wins invincibility for their team. Heather from Screaming Gophers drops out. They are down to 6 remaining. Owen from Screaming Gophers drops out. They are down to 5 remaining. Izzy from Screaming Gophers drops out. They are down to 4. Jeff from Killer Base drops out. They are down to 4. Tyler from Killer Base drops out. They are down to 3. Bridget drops out. They are down to 2. Justin drops out. They are down to 3. Gwen drops down. They are down to 2. LaShawna drops out. They are down to 1. Courtney drops down. They are down to 1. Beth drops out. And Duncan wins it for his team. Killer Base win. I didn't look at the targets, but that was okay. Izzy, Beth, Heather, Gwen, Justin, and LaShawna. Oh, they voted out Owen. All right, final 11. Last challenge before merge. Well, not really. Extreme Sports Challenge. Oh, great, we got the bigger one. Teams compete in 3 extreme sports challenges. For the first challenge, extreme sofa bed skydiving. 1 camper from each team, as decided by production, will jump from a plane 5,000 feet above the ground and attempt to land on their sofa bed. As the 2 campers fall, their teams can move their respective sofa beds in order to help with the landing. The first camper to land on their sofa bed wins the challenge for their team. For the second challenge, extreme rodeo moose riding. 1 camper from each team, as decided by production, must rodeo ride a moose for 8 seconds. If either the camper falls off the moose, they will land in a pile of dirty socks from the lost and found. The camper that stays on the moose the longest wins the challenge for their team. For the final challenge, extreme sea-doo water ski. 2 campers from each team, as decided by production, are given a role: the driver and the water skier. 1 at a time, drivers must race through a course fit while the water skier from the opposite team is attached to the driver's sea-doo. The water skier's goal is to collect as many opposing team flags as they can before the driver crosses the finish line, while the driver's goal is to prevent the water skier from collecting flags. The water skier who collects the most flags wins the challenge for their team. The team that wins the most challenges wins invincibility in a tricked out multi-massage mobile shower. Okay. Gwen competes for Screaming Gophers. Duncan competes for Killer Base. Screaming Gophers wins the point. So that was Extreme Skills. Challenge 2, LaShawna versus Bridget. Killer Base wins challenge 3. Beth and Heather versus Jeff and Tyler. Killer Base win the challenge. Oh, darn it. Izzy is targeting Gwen. Justin is targeting Heather. Heather is targeting Justin. Gwen is targeting Lashana. Izzy, Beth, Gwen, Justin. Oh, it's between Lashana and Heather. Lashana is safe. Heather is eliminated. Justin is the only boy. And then, okay. What's this? All campers have made the jury, and teams will become one next episode. Cabins have also been reassigned from teams to genders. They will compete in a food-related war challenge. Girls are Beth, Bridget, Courtney, Gwen, Izzy, and Lashana. With the guys being Duncan, Jeff, Justin, and Tyler. Proceed. Any alliances? Oh, they do. The Screaming Gophers had an alliance with Izzy, Justin, and Lashana, but Lashana doesn't count because it's the girls. And then, ooh, Bridget, Courtney, Duncan, Jeff, and Tyler had an alliance. Wait a minute. Oh, Izzy, Justin is in just another alliance with just Lashana. Why does he have an alliance with just another person? Just add them into the same alliance. The next alliance, oh, okay. Screaming Gophers alliance. Beth and Izzy. Okay. Any boy alliances? Yep, just yeah, it's just the same thing. The brunch of disgustingness. Throughout the 9 rounds, campers will be given a 9-course meal of gross foods. Each dish could be better, worse, or just as gross than the previous, but all dishes are guaranteed to be gross. The first team to finish a dish wins that round. The team that wins the most rounds will spend 2 days in a local 5-star resort where they will be pampered, eat gourmet gnocchi, I think that's how you pronounce it, and be given antibiotics against anything they may have caught while participating in this challenge. Ooh, 4 members of guys fail to finish. Girls score, they have 1 point. 1 member of guys fails to finish. The girls have 2 points. Guys score a point. It's 1 to 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 2 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3, 3, 4. Who wins? Girls win with 5 points. Boom. Okay, so girls win. Alright, so Beth, Bridget, Courtney, Duncan, Jeff, Gwen, Izzy, Justin, Lashana, and Tyler all make the merge. So the only people who don't make it to merge in the original show are Beth, Courtney, Izzy, Justin, and Tyler. Wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so over half the people here weren't even in the original canon. But who are the 2 people rejoining? DJ and Katie. Wait, campers are informed that all teams are officially dissolved and that's every camper for themselves. Backed by popular audience demand, it's DJ, actually production. Also returning to camp, it's Katie. Alright, so Katie and DJ are added into the mix. Alright, any alliances? So this alliance, so this alliance, so this alliance, so this alliance. Ooh, Duncan and Tyler have an alliance now. Alright, no pain, no gain. In random order, campers will have to spin the wheel of misfortune to determine what torture they must endure. If a camper backs down on a torture or is unable to last 10 seconds, they are eliminated. If a camper passes their torture, they move to the next round. If a camper can pass their torture without complaining, they can choose the next camper and the torture, but if their victim succeeds, they are eliminated. When only 2 remain, if the next camper passes their torture, they win the challenge. Otherwise, the other campers win. The other camper wins. The camper who lasts the longest wins invincibility and a luxurious trailer to take home at the end of the summer. Beth gets the torture. Turtle slap shots. The camper must stand in front of a goal while Chef Hatchet slap shots angry snapping turtles at the camper. She passes her torture and moves on. Tyler gets the next torture. Spike bed. The camper must lay down on a bed of spikes. He fails to complete his torture and is eliminated. Okay. Justin gets the next torture. Sasquatch Aqua. The camper must get inside a wooden crate with Sasquatch Aqua. He passes the torture, moves on. Bridget gets the next torture. Poison ivy spa treatment. The camper must have his or her head wrapped in poison ivy. She passes her torture without complaint. Bridget chooses Lashana to do electric eel defibrillator. The camper must be defibrillated with 2 electric eels. She completes her torture and eliminates Bridget. DJ gets the next torture. Water balloon headshots. The camper must take water balloons to the face. He fails to complete his torture and is eliminated. Shauna gets the next torture, but she literally just went. Baratament. The camper must listen to Chef berate them. She fails to complete her torture and is eliminated. Duncan gets the next torture. The ghost pepper taste test. The camper must eat a ghost pepper and chew it. He passes his torture and moves on. Courtney gets the next torture. Grizzly Bear Log Roll. The camper must survive in a game of log roll against Molotov the Bear, a performer with the Russian National Circus who has been the European log rolling champion for the past 12 years. She passes her torture without complaint. Courtney chooses Duncan to do Tickle Onslaught. The camper must endure 1 minute of constant tickling. He fails to complete his torture and is eliminated. Izzy gets the next torture. Goose Shoes. The camper must wear shoes filled with mystery goo. She passes her torture and moves on. Jeff gets the next torture. Snake Wrap. The camper must be wrapped tight by a snake. He fails to complete his torture and is eliminated. Gwen has to do Yellow Jacket. The camper must have his or her front covered in beads. She passes her torture and moves on. Kitty gets the next torture. Nose hair pull. The camper must have all their nose hairs pulled out at once. She fails to complete her torture and is eliminated. Hair plucking. The camper must endure strands of hair being plucked from their head. She passes her torture and moves on. Then gets the next torture. Skunk jump. The camper must jump over and onto a series of skunks and rocks. He passes his torture and moves on. Courtney gets the next dare. Ice cream brain freeze. The camper must eat a large tub of ice cream. She fails to complete her torture, is eliminated. Kitty gets the next torture. Marshmallow waxing. The camper must have their face waxed using melted marshmallows. She fails to complete her torture and is eliminated. Gwen gets the next torture. Lake leeches. The camper must sit in a barrel full of water and lake leeches. She passes her torture and moves on. Beth gets the next torture. Wooden shorts. The camper must wear wooden shorts while a woodpecker pecks away at them. She failed to complete her torture and is eliminated. Justin and Gwen are the final two left. Finally, Justin gets the final torture. Got milk. The camper must attempt to milk an angry bull. Justin fails to complete his torture. Gwen wins. Okay, so first up we ran out of marshmallows. I've reviewed the votes, and I have to say there's a lot of hate on in this group, which is awesome. While I normally protect your privacy in the spirit of airing your dirty laundry, I'm going to go live at your confessionals. The votes are revealed to everyone. Beth voted for Lashawna. Bridget voted for Lashawna. Courtney voted for Lashawna. DJ, Duncan, Jeff, Gwen all voted for Lashawna. Izzy voted for Izzy, Jeff, Justin, Katie, Lashawna all voted for Jeff. Tyler voted for Lashawna. Lashawna must walk the dock of shame and board the boat of losers. Goodbye, Lashawna. Lucky Key Hunt. Campers must search certain areas on the island for keys that will unlock different treasure chests, which contain different rewards and punishments, including invincibilities. Before the challenge begins, campers must each pull their own plank out of a bucket. Each plank depicts the location of a key. The campers have until 6 p.m. EST to get their keys. When time has run out, campers can open their treasure chests, but some keys do not match any of the treasure chests. So, Izzy found a dud key and wins nothing. Katie wins the leg lamp. Beth wins a toaster. Gwen found a dud key and wins nothing. Bridget wins cologne. Duncan can never find a key and wins nothing. DJ found a dud key and wins nothing. Dustin found a dud key. Justin could never find a key and wins nothing. Tyler could never find a key and wins nothing. Courtney wins chips in a can of pop. Jeff wins 2 chips in a bottle. No one wins invincibility. So everyone's up for the picking. No one. So someone who didn't find their key had the invincibility one. Might have been Duncan, might have been Tyler, might have been Justin. I don't know. I know these are the only people I can remember who didn't find it. First marshmallow goes to Tyler, Izzy, Justin, Gwen, Duncan, Courtney, DJ, Beth, Bridget, Jeff. Goodbye, Katie. So the ones eliminated from merger so far are Lashawna and Katie. Alliances. Okay. Hide, seek, and run. The campers have 10 minutes to hide anywhere on the island. When the 10 minutes are over, Chef Hatchet will start searching. If the camper is caught, they can try to escape to home base. But if Chef Hatchet hits them with his water gun, the camper is eliminated and must help search for campers. Campers can win invincibility by being the last camper still hiding, getting to home base after Chef Hatchet finds them, or tagging any of the remaining hiding campers after being eliminated. Tyler is found by Chef Hatchet. Bridget is found by Chef Hatchet. Justin is found by Chef Hatchet. Gwen is found. Tyler is shot by the water gun. Gwen is shot. Jeff is found. Bridget is shot. Izzy is found. Beth is found. Beth is shot. Izzy is shot. Justin is shot. Jeff is shot. Duncan is found. Duncan is found. Duncan is shot. Courtney is found. Courtney makes it to home base without getting shot and wins invincibility. DJ is the last camper hiding and wins invincibility. So, the 2 winners for invincibility are Courtney and DJ. Okay, targets. Jeff, Gwen, Tyler. Okay. So, the ones saved for DJ, Courtney, Tyler, Justin, Izzy, Duncan, Beth, Bridget, and Jeff. Which means that Gwen is eliminated. Alright, guys. So, I'm going to end it out here for part 1, as you know by the title. So, I know we went pretty far in this episode, over halfway. But we will finish this all tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow, record, do that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited to see who wins in part 2. As our final campers are Beth, Bridget, Courtney, DJ, Duncan, Jeff, Izzy, Justin, and Tyler. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.